After the floods, the struggle to fill the breaches. Here in the King's Lynn area, where loss of life and great damage has been caused, Cambridge undergraduates have been lending a hand in the work of filling the gap with sandbags to restrain the waters of the Ouse. Hard and continuous work it is, too. In the Netherlands, the floods have broken through land defences in places too numerous to count. Over there, indeed, the disaster is even greater than in Britain. Enormous areas are underwater, and some estimates put the loss of life among the Dutch people at over 2,000. The problem is a colossal one, and even when the situation is righted, a vast acreage may be unproductive for some years to come, from Wacheren to Rotterdam. Many thousands of people, as in England, have lost homes and possessions, and the refugee problem is on a huge scale. The storm also struck the Belgian coast, the resort of Ostend having its seawall breached with heavy and serious flooding as a result. Our pictures give a pretty clear indication of the position there. At home, Canvey Island figures prominently in the battle to hold back the sea. Servicemen have been doing a very fine job building up and strengthening the seawall hour after hour. Sandbags by the million go into this work, a vital part of which is the construction and maintenance of the sluice gates through which the floodwater can flow away. It's a round-the-clock battle, and when we filmed the scene, the troops, working day and night, looked like winning the fight. To help to meet the widespread suffering, the Lord Mayor of London has opened a special distress fund.
Did you ever imagine in your wildest dreams that this terrible tragedy which has befallen our beloved island could really have happened?
Contributions which are urgently needed for the tens of thousands of flood victims should be sent to the Lord Mayor, Mansion House, London, EC4, and they should be marked National Flood and Tempest Fund. All are asked to give as much as they can afford and as quickly as possible. In addition to your response to this appeal, please remember that clothing is urgently needed by the WVS, who are working very hard distributing this and other help to the homeless. Here are some typical cases of people overtaken by the calamity of storm and flood. 74-year-old Mrs. Florrie Rudge.
When the water came up, I got on the table and sat there for 4 days and 4 nights. The saddest part of all was I lost my teeth.
Mrs. Gertrude Carter.
I woke up early Sunday morning and asked my husband if he'd shut the window. When he got out of bed, he found that he was waist deep in water. Then I realised something was wrong.
Mrs. Alice Pett.
When I got up, I found we were surrounded by water. I climbed onto the door, hanging on the top with my foot on the knob for 9 hours until I was rescued by boat.
And Mrs. Hilda Hobbs.
My husband and I woke up to find the water as high as the bed. We both jumped out quick. I put my little boy on top of a high cupboard, and my husband went into the dining room, and I tried to follow him, but the water was too deep, and my poor husband, he was drowned.